Hi there, my name is Scott Arthur and I'm the councillor for Collington, Oxgangs and Three Head. And right now I'm standing at my local bus stop, the one I used to get into town on Comiston Road. And you can see behind me one of the council's new bus tracker screens. So appearing over the last day or two is a notice at the very bottom of the screen, and if I remember how, I'll flip my phone camera around and I'll let you see that at the end of the video, explaining that for Lothian buses services, the screens are only going to show the timetable data for now, rather than live tracking data. So this is because there's a bit of an issue getting the council's hardware, i.e. the screens, to speak to Lothian buses hardware, i.e. the buses. But both Lothian buses and the council are working on this together, and they're hopeful that it will be resolved by spring next year, so still a couple of months to go realistically, or more than a couple of months to go. So not an ideal situation, and the amount of complaints from people in my ward about this is a reminder of just how many people in Edinburgh use buses every day to get around our city, 2 million passengers per week, and also an important reminder of how important that live bus data is. And of course, the live bus data is so important because often buses are delayed in our city, and that's something that we need more than bus tracker screens to address. Of course, a big part of that is due to roadworks. I think in the last year there were 14,000 applications for roadworks in Edinburgh. That's right, 14,000, not 1,400, 14,000. So on average, that's just over 2 per street in Edinburgh on average. Obviously some streets get far more than others. The council does have a duty to manage them to try to avoid conflicts, but with that number you can imagine it's an impossible task. And of course I have to say that the council can always manage its roadworks more effectively as well. I think there's always room for improvement there, but again it's a really difficult task. And of course that's one part of what's causing delays to buses in the city. The other part, of course, is just the sheer number of the cars in the city. Big increase in cars this year. We're still not at pre-pandemic levels, but the miles driven in the city continue to increase. Over the next decade or so, 37,000, up to 37,000 houses will be built in Edinburgh, and much more in the surrounding areas. So that's something we have to prepare for. A couple of weeks ago, the council won funding from the Scottish Government to look at developing bus priority measures on key arterial routes in the city. This is one of them. So in total we got around £2 million for that work from the government. So that's just about developing the business case, and we will go back to them soon for £200 million worth of measures on these key arterial routes. And a big focus there will be helping buses stick to their timetable, so making sure they've got priority at junctions and making sure the route's not blocked by parking or loading, about managing both of those things much more effectively. And this will be, I think this will be a real game changer for Edinburgh, particularly if they can use it to get people coming from surrounding local authorities into Edinburgh out of their cars and into buses. They've just seen the bus from Dumfries go by there, it's always good to see it. So that will be a huge opportunity for Edinburgh. So hopefully all those changes, in terms of particularly those bus priority measures, getting that dealt with, hopefully that will enable Lothian buses etc. to stick to their timetables much more effectively, and we think it will reduce bus journey times by 25% into the city centre, which will be absolutely fantastic. But all that's a year or two away, and what we have to do before then, of course, is get the bus trackers working, and let's hope that's done as soon as possible. And now I'm going to try and flip my phone around to see, so I can show you the message on the screen as I promised. Here we go. And I can turn it around. And is it going to up? There we go. So you can see scrolling across the white band at the bottom, there's the message explaining that it's only timetable data for just now, and you should, if you've got a smartphone, look at the bus tracker app. So not ideal, but a lot of people did get in touch saying that really there should be a notice on the tracker, so the notice is now there. To be honest, I wish it was a bit more obvious, but I think there's a good balance there between having the message there and actually having the data there that people want to see. So I'll just end by saying I can't defend what's happened with this, but I just want to reassure you that I speak to council officers often about how we can address it, and I know they're working really closely with Lothian buses to get that done. Okay, I hope you have a great Monday evening. No, it's Tuesday, so I get my days mixed up. I hope you have a great Tuesday evening. I'm just about to go up to Charwood and meet my wife. We're going to have something to eat, and maybe I'll have a pint of beer when I'm there as well. You never know. Okay, have a great Tuesday. Bye for now.